Now, before I turn the call over to Peter to do the presentation, I'd like to mention one thing. I look at 4 different things when it comes to entertaining, getting involved in a home-based business. All of them are very important. Number 1, who's the company behind it? Well, here, as Peter will explain, Multiplex Systems Incorporated is nearly 12 years old, debt-free, U.S.-based corporation. Number 2, the products and services. Well, just a tremendous educational product line is available on demand, 24/7, kind of like the video professor on steroids. That's the product line, delivered instantly, available instantly upon registration. Number 3, the compensation plan. It doesn't get any better than this, folks. Break even on your first referral, and Peter will go into that further over in the call. And number 4, what has made Multiplex such a strong entity in the home-based industry is just this: tools, marketing tools and systems that can be used to build any business. More importantly, they can be used to build Infinity Downline. So we have all of the components necessary for you to have a solid ground to kind of claim the passion and go forward and make a difference in your life financially, in the lives of those around you. So without any further ado, Peter, have you joined the call yet, sir?
I sure have, George. Thank you. Hey, we're going to start something a little bit different today, and before I mute out the whole call, I just want everybody to hear the kind of volume of people we're getting to join this program. If I can have everybody hit *6 on their phone to unmute your line. Please unmute your line. All right, fantastic. All right, now on the count of 3, what I want everybody to do is just to mention your name and where you're calling from, okay? Your name and where you're calling from on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow, all right, incredible. All right, everybody, just hit *6 on your phone again, and I'm going to mute out the line, and we'll get started, just to let everybody know what's going on here.
All callers are muted, and they can unmute themselves.
All right, folks, today is a special day in Infinity Downline. We just hit 90,000 members. 90,000 members on a global basis everywhere, and that is just a drop in the bucket of where we plan on being. We plan on hitting 100,000 people very soon and into 200,000 people soon after that. So it is an incredible program. It's not a point at which we think, well, we think this is going to work. We already know it's going to work. Because look at all the people coming in. You have also the stability of a company that's been around for a long time, and that's one of the biggest things anybody really should look at when they're looking at starting or jumping into a program, and who's behind it. You know, what company is behind it? Did they just jump into network marketing, or is it just someone that thought they might be successful at it? Well, you want to get involved with a company primarily, if you can, is to get involved with a company that knows what they're doing. We have our pulse on the industry. We are really a company that specializes in tools to help anybody in any network marketing, online, offline, or any other kind of marketing company, so that this way you guys can accelerate the process by which you can do better in your business, be able to do it more effectively, to be able to compress time, as I call it, to be able to squeeze every little time out of your day so this way you can generate more leads, more traffic, and be able to speak to more people more cost-effectively. And we've been doing that for almost 12 years. We have almost 200,000 customers and members. We have probably over 100 websites at this point, and many of our websites are in the network marketing field, but they also have tens of thousands of members as well, not just Infinity Downline. So here you have a company that has put something together for you with the knowledge and experience and really the pedigree of being in the position that we're in, you know, and that we put together and the track record that we have. So we like to think that, hey, if you know, most companies don't last but a few months or a few years. We've been here almost 12 years, so we like to think that we're doing something right and we have some integrity out there, and we try to do things the right way. And to get to this point, it's not a terribly easy thing to do. But we've done it, and we're going as strong as ever, and we're here for you. We're here to give you a solid opportunity. And, I mean, heck, I'm not going to put together a scam and risk my 12-year-old company. It's just not going to happen. So we feel that we have a super solid opportunity. True, the opportunity we have here is thinking outside the box. But really any major trend in the industry that started something off as a major trend started really from thinking outside the box and looking at things in a different perspective. And I'm going to paint this picture for you to give you the opportunity to maybe see the same thing as everybody else has, to really put together the pieces and come together with a beautiful picture. And hopefully you'll be able to do that. So grab yourself something to write with, jot down some notes, and as we go through here, you'll see that we have so many different sizzle points available for you as a member to be able to go out and spread the word about Infinity Downline on our sister company, Infinity 100. But here we're talking about Infinity Downline. So, so this way you have a lot of different sizzle points to tell people. Usually when a company opens up, they have one or two major points that they try to hook onto and people try to tell people about. We have literally 5, 6, 7, 8 sizzle points that are legitimate points that you can really go out and tell people about. So let's get started. Now, I've always been an entrepreneur ever since I've been a little boy, ever since I can remember. In the early 80s, I was a sergeant in the Marine Corps, and the reason why I tell you that is because it's really been a big point in me doing my business in that I was introduced to different points of delegation and being able to get things done, to be able to do multiple tasks at one time, to be able to go through brick walls to make things happen. And it was very important to me because at that time we learned electronics. I was into coding and decoding electronics at that point. And also we learned about the Internet. And back then it was really a commercial, it wasn't a commercial viability, but it was something that we did in the military, and I was like, wow, this is really cool, sending data back and forth. And little did I know, just a short time after that, we're talking about some major stuff happening. So after I got out of the military, in 1990, I was introduced to network marketing. I had never heard of it before, but I was always looking for ways to be able to make money. And I went to a hotel meeting at that time, and I sat in the audience just like everybody else, and I was, kind of thinking, what the heck am I here for? And it was some kind of marketing opportunity. I had no idea. And they started talking about people telling people about something that they liked, things that they liked, and they just wanted to tell people about them. And that word-of-mouth advertising would go from person to person, and it would maybe spread from somebody locally to somebody to a different state, to another state, to another state, to another country, and ricochet everywhere else. And ultimately, those people would buy products, and the company would say, well, if I didn't start that chain reaction, then the company would never be selling any of those products, so why shouldn't they give me a cut? And I thought about it there for a few moments, and I said, yeah, that really makes a lot of sense to me. And my life really changed at that point. I started thinking of business different ways. I started thinking about the possibility that an average person, and I thought myself was an average person at that point, to be able to generate an above-average income, to be able to start it out on a very low budget, and to really for a few $100 at that point to get started, and to branch it out into an international business. And I guess I'm a living testimony that it works. I do very well financially, and I work like an animal to make it happen. I'm just that kind of person that has a passion for what I do. But it certainly works, and it certainly changed my life around. Now, when I started that business, I jumped into it and I said, okay, how am I going to promote my business? I started to build different tools and systems to be able to squeeze everything I could out of every day, to be able to get more people to see the business faster and do it cheaper than ever before. And over those number of years, I started to do that and develop all these different systems for myself. And I started to get asked to be doing trainings and webinars and so on for other people. So I started to do that, and I said, hey, I really like to do this. I like to be able to train and teach people and have other people be successful with what I'm doing. And I started Multiplex Systems in August of 1998. We're a legitimate New York State-based corporation, and we specialize in these tools. We develop our own tools as well as systems. We're a lead broker for that long as well, too. We've developed email broadcasting systems, traffic exchange systems, postcard programs, list scraping programs, phone broadcasting systems, and I could go on and on and on. So we have all these different tools covering different niche markets, and we've been able to develop quite a following over the last 10 to 12 years. So we started to think, okay, how can we get from point A to point B? And at that point, obviously, we didn't have as many customers as we had now, but we were thinking, okay, we want to get from point A to point B, and we're doing traditional advertising and pay-per-click and classified ads and all sorts of stuff like that. And we said, well, how can we get from point A to point B and be able to do other types of advertising to grow our company and really to get more people to see our products? That's essentially what we're trying to do as a company, is to get more people to see what we do. And we were brainstorming, and we thought, well, hey, we really believe in network marketing. And I started thinking of the day I found out about network marketing, about people telling people, and I say, I do that all the time. I mean, I go to the movies. I'm a movie buff. I love to go to the movies because I don't have time, and in 2 hours I'm in and out, and I love it. I tell people all the time about it, and I never get paid anything for it, but it happens, and God knows how much millions of dollars I've probably generated for the theaters, and they never give me anything for it. But it really is very, very powerful, the grassroots effect of networking. And we started thinking of, hey, we put in programs together. As a matter of fact, a little over 3 years ago, we put together a website, and we had a little bit of a push when we got started with the website, and we haven't touched it since. It's pure viral marketing, and we have 60,000 members. So it really does work, and we said, why don't we go into that direction? Why don't we put together something that everybody would be passionate about, that would have so many great things about it, that we can unleash it and let everybody tell people about it, because it would be the best thing out there. So we started thinking, okay, we've talked to a lot of people. We've had a lot of customers. We get a lot of feedback, positive and negative, from people. We see companies come and go, and we really see what everything's going on, and we kind of have the pulse of what's happening in the industry, and we fed off that information to put this program together. And we said, well, why don't we put together a company, or a network marketing program, I guess is a better way to say it, and replace our advertising budget with that company. So if we're going to spend $20,000 over a period of time in advertising the traditional way, why not take that money and put it together to build a program, which is really the money we would have spent anyway in the advertising? So we said, makes a lot of sense to me. So we started putting it together. We started putting together a program. We put the servers together. We put the website together, the tracking script, the movies, the conference calls, all the website designs, everything for the program. And we said, okay, what else can we put in this program? What do people want? What are the biggest things that they want? And the first thing that always came up was, hey, how much money can I make? Which translates to really, what's the compensation plan? What's the payout? Well, ultimately, of course, you start out with 100% payout. I mean, that's the highest you could possibly get. And then you start whittling away at that from expenses and overhead and tracking systems and product and so on. Well, let me show you how that we were able to eliminate that whole process. Because as I mentioned before, with our products in marketing, we always thought, okay, we want to automate everything as much as possible and squeeze everything we could out of it. So we said, why don't we move that into putting a program together, automate everything possible, so this way we can save as much money as possible and put it into the compensation plan. So the first thing that came out was, I want to be able to automate the product line. Now, most companies have a product-based program, which is, what I mean by product, I mean physical-based product, like a nutritional skincare or something like that. So that means that every person that comes in the program, whether it's 1, 10, 100, 1,000, or whatever, the company has to pay for the product, they have to package the product, they have to ship the product, they have to do the postage, everything, and they have to have the manpower to do that. So on average, usually it's about 30% of the cost of the overall program. So now you go from 100% to 70% payout right there, bam, right up the top. So we said we have to automate that whole process. And why not put a digital product together that still had great value to it, but when we put the program together, and once we have the product, we don't have to keep on paying for it over and over and over again. We just have it, it's there. So we put a product together that's educational based, and George mentioned it before, which was a product that can be able to teach people to expand their knowledge base in different niche markets, from Microsoft certified professionals teaching you how to use Microsoft products, Microsoft Word, Outlook, Express, PowerPoint, things like that, to be able to learn about eBay and Photoshop and search engine optimization, and those are just video markets. Then we have a whole audio section, which will teach you all sorts of different things. Plus, we have a whole section, which I love, called the Big Seminar Series, and those are millionaires teaching you how to be able to make money the way they did it, and they tell you exactly their stories on how they're making millions of dollars a year. So we have hundreds of hours of audio and video back there. You just go back there and you click on them, you listen. You click on them, you watch them, whatever you like to do. And it could be, somebody who's looking to be an entrepreneur. I want to learn how to market my product, my widget, whatever it happens to be. I want to be able to sell it on eBay. I want to be able to do search engine optimization on my website. I want to be able to do offline marketing, things like that. Or maybe it's somebody that says, well, hey, I have to learn more about Microsoft Word. I have to learn more about Microsoft Excel. I might lose my job. I want to become more proficient in this type of stuff. Or maybe somebody that says, I want to get a job, and I want to be more proficient in the competition that's trying to get the same job as me, and so I want to learn that stuff, and maybe you can get that job, or maybe not lose it, that kind of thing. Or maybe it's somebody that wants to learn that type of thing and maybe learn something more about those programs and save themselves 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day from doing repetitive tasks that they would have to do all the time, and maybe learn something more that they didn't know. Hey, I didn't know I could do that with the software, and maybe you save yourself 15 minutes a day in time. That adds up over, every single day, every single week, every single month. You're talking like a week's worth of pay and productivity. So however you're looking at it, I don't know what your situation is, but it could really be for anybody. I mean, I've taken concepts like in some of these audios and videos, and it's turned my whole business in different directions I never even thought of. And I'm smart enough to know that I don't know everything. And I learned stuff, and I said, I never thought about that, and then it takes my business in a whole different direction, and it's maybe tens of thousands of dollars, in many cases more than that. So the education is priceless if you want to take advantage of it. So the product is immense. It's a huge product line that we have back there. But the key here is that we don't have to pay for it every single time somebody gets the product. So we save all that money. Now, the second thing that we're saving is the payroll process. Normally when you join a program, you have to go and you have to pay the company. The company has to absorb the payroll process from credit cards to PayPal fees, basically. And you're talking 2-3% usually in something like that. And then they have to go and take the money and do the compensation plan structure and do the payouts and have the staff to do that. Then they have to go to cut the checks or do the debit cards or whatever they happen to do. Then they have to go at the end of the year, pay the commissions and the 1099 forms and the taxes and things like that, because if they take the money and they pay it out, they have to do all that extra work. So we said, who made the rule that you have to pay the company first? Right? Why can't we have a system where we have the software when you first come in that directs all the payments? So instead of having the members join to pay the company to have the company pay the people, why not have the members pay the members or the members pay the people, and the company doesn't have to worry about it? It cuts out all of that extra overhead, and we take that money and we put it back into the compensation plan, and you're back at 100%. Now, the last factor that we knew that was part of it is, why do you go into business to begin with? As a company, you go to business to begin with because you want to make a profit, right? Well, that's one of the biggest things I always get when people go to the website is, oh, yeah, right, how can a company possibly do 100% payout and still stay in business? They want to make money. How can they possibly pay overhead and this and that if they're not making a profit because they're paying out 100%? Well, that's because we have all these other websites that make money. I mean, as I said, we're a debt-free company, and our goal here is to replace the advertising budget, not to make a profit in the program, because we were going to spend the money anyway in advertising, right? So we're not looking at it as a profit motive. We're looking at it as a marketing engine for us to do something we were going to do anyway. So that's the mentality behind it. And is it thinking outside the box? Yeah, but it makes a lot of business sense to do it that way. So we've set up ourselves a perpetual advertising engine that could pay us far more than just paying money for advertising. Because it goes, it's like the Energizer Bunny. It just goes and goes and goes and goes, and we'll hit hundreds of thousands of people with this program, and everybody's happy. It's the perfect business scenario, a triple win scenario. The company wins because we get a lot of eyeballs on our products. The members win because they get top dollar for when they work, and I call it becoming paid lucratively for their efforts. They make 100%. And the customers win because they get a fantastic product. I mean, what's the best thing there? It's like a perfect storm. So, all right, so to recoup there, you have the company that's a debt-free company that knows what they're doing. The product line is maxed out as far as the payout. Great product line. You save all the money there. You have a system that will allow the members to pay each other, which also means that you don't have to wait a month or so to get paid. A lot of times you join a company, you're waiting 30 to 45 days just to get paid. Here, when somebody joins the program, you're paid in seconds after that person joins, instantly. So it's a perfect influx of money in a bad economy, right? So if you're referring somebody, bam, you're getting paid. It's fantastic. So it's what I call microwave pay. So now you have 100% payout. Now, that is a super sizzle point right there in and to itself. I mean, who has 100% payout? Well, we do, right? So now that I explain it to you, it makes a lot of business sense for us to do it, and I would do it that way every day of the week. The next thing is we don't even have an admin fee in the program. Normally when you join a program, the company has an admin fee, setup fee, a communications fee, whatever you want to call it. We absorb that whole thing, and we could rightfully charge it for what we're doing here, but we absorb it. We said, let's give them even another huge thing to sell the program, and we'll just absorb that admin fee and let the members keep it. So it's not just 100% payout, it's 100% net payout in the program. Huge point. Now, let's go into the compensation plan. I'm going to give you a very brief overview, and then I'm going to give you a scenario by which, if you join, what you would expect and kind of walk you through the process. And then we'll kind of tie everything else up with a neat little bow. All right, compensation plan, we use what's called, at least the basic concept of it, is called a 2-up compensation plan. Very well respected, been around a long time, very, very big companies use it. And that means that the first 2 people that you refer roll up to your sponsor as a bonus, and you, in effect, give them to the person. Now, we flip that around and change it a little bit, and we say it's called a reverse 2-up compensation plan. And it sounds fancy, but it's pretty simple, actually. And reverse 2-up compensation plan means that the first 2 people you refer do not go up to your sponsor. The first and third person stay with you, and the second and fourth person go up to your sponsor. Very, very important, because that leads up to one of the biggest sizzle points that we have, and that really takes away the risk in the program. Now, before I get to that, I'm going to say, well, how much is it to join the program? A lot of people are asking, right? How much is it to join this program? Well, it's only $25 to join. $25. So the sizzle point with that is basically it's for the masses. Anybody can afford $25 to join a program, and if you say you can't join for $25 and it's just too much money for you, well, I mean, let's be real. I'm thinking, at this point, if you're saying you can't afford it, it's like you really need it more than you think you do, because we want to get you out of that thinking that you have to think about $25. You really shouldn't have to do that. But you want to think about it as a way to generate money, not an expense. There's a very well-known saying that goes, and a lot of rich people use it. Robert Kiyosaki is one of them. And he says, poor people look at it and they say, how much is it going to cost me? And rich people say, how much is it going to make me? So don't look at it as an expense like your cell phone, your mortgage bill, your utility bill, things like that. You want to look at it as, okay, how much is this going to generate me? And I'm going to go over that right now. Now, and besides, even though it's $25, I'm going to show you right now how it doesn't really matter. Because on the compensation plan, if you come in and you join, the first person that you refer, the system says pay you $25. So if you pay $25 out, the first person you refer pays you $25. That's called breaking even in my book. I mean, that's a solid 100% break even on one person. That has never been done before in a network marketing program, ever. And I've seen it all. I've designed compensation plans, and I know it doesn't exist except for here, because of all the factors I mentioned before. So you break even on one person. So the only risk in this program is not if it works or not, because we already know it does, is you. You're the X factor in the program. We don't know how hard you're going to work. We don't know if you're going to follow directions. You don't know if you're going to be coachable or not. If you're going to come to the conference calls, go to the webinars, you're going to use any of our tools. We don't know any of that. So the only risk is if you think you can't find one person. If you think you can't find one person that wants to make extra money, a lot of money, get a better education, or join something like this to be able to generate money for themselves and their family. Well, the whole planet wants to do that right now with the bad economy, so I think anybody can do that. So really, I call it a virtually risk-free program, and that virtually is basically you. I have to say that, right? So anyway, you break even on the first person. The second person that comes in goes to your sponsor. The third goes to you. Now you're in profit. You break even on one. You're in profit on three. And then the fourth person goes to your sponsor. Now, that was the quick explanation of the compensation plan. Anybody that goes after the fifth person, the sixth person, the seventh person, you bring them in, they all stay with you, and they're all going to pay you $25. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, and I'm going to give you a scenario on how this works. You are giving your second and fourth person up, and again, it goes back to that thing where you're saying, okay, not so much what it's going to cost me and what it's going to make me. You want to think about the 2 people up. Yes, you're giving 2 people up, but what does it make you? Well, if you have the first and third person, you're keeping those people, and everybody has to give their 2 people up. So if your first and third person are staying with you, they have to bring their second and fourth person. That makes it 4 people, because they're giving you their second and fourth person, and the system says to pay you $25. They roll up to your first level called a power line, and now you make 25, 25, 25, 25. And those 4 people roll up to your first level. Now, those 4 people are considered personally sponsored by you, even though you never sponsored them. And those 4 people say, okay, I want to bring in my people. Now they bring in their second and fourth person. Now you have 8 people rolling up to your first level, giving you $25 a piece times 8. Those 8 people are now considered personally sponsored by you. They bring in their second and fourth person. Now they roll up to you. That's 16 people giving you $25 a piece. Those 16 get their 2, which makes it 32, 64, and so on down the line. That's called compounding of people. Just like the saying everybody's heard, you take a penny and you double it every day for a month, you're a multimillionaire. Well, it's the same concept where you're taking people and using that compounding effect of doubling. You bring in your 5th person, then you have a potential of another 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Your 6th person, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and that happens to double and double. Now, I'll tell you right now, if we stop right there and we did the 100% payout, the no admin fee, you break even on one person, great compensation plan, great product line, and the compounding of people, we would blow away everything on the market. But we have one more thing, which is called residual income. And before I get into that, I want to kind of bring you through this scenario, and we'll tie it up in a few minutes. Now, let's say that you're joining the program for the first time. What do? What can you expect? Well, you go to the link of the person that referred you, you click on the join link, and you join the program. You put in your username, your password, your email, and phone number, and the system will automatically create your account instantly right there. Bam, you got your link, you're all set. In the back office, you'll see a link there, and the little lady will come up and say, okay, what's the next thing to do? You click on the link that says, click here to start the payment process. When you do that, the system is going to say, okay, it's going to calculate who you're supposed to pay the $25 to, and what methods of payment they accept, how they want to be paid. So it could be one of any number of different ways. Everybody takes payments the way they want to take payments. So you pay that person $25, and you're in. You can go to the product line and start viewing the videos, watching the videos, listening to the audios, and so on. But what you can also do is you go to your profile section, you fill out your mailing address and everything, and you start thinking, okay, how do I want to be paid when I refer people to the program? We have PayPal, we have AlertPay, we have different merchant account systems. One is called LinkPoint, fantastic. I recommend every member use LinkPoint because it's a real merchant account. And they actually spent 3 months going through our website with a fine-tooth comb, and they approved their entire website. Incredible stuff. So you start saying, okay, I want to take these methods of payment, and then you start thinking, okay, who do I know that wants to make extra money? Who wants to make a lot of money? Who can I give this gift of Infinity Downline to? Who wants to be able to learn more things and different topics and so on? It could be on and on and on, and it's really just about everybody. So you start thinking, okay, I want to get this out to everybody. Do I want to use some of the tools in the back? Do I want to use some of the leads in the back? I want to use phone broadcasting. I want to use traffic exchanges. We have everything back there for you to use, and you get the word out, and the first person that comes to your link is going to be paying you $25. You break even. That could be 10 or 15 minutes after you join. It's that fast. So the second person that comes in, they're going to roll up to your sponsor. The third person that comes in goes to you, like I mentioned. The fourth person goes to your sponsor, and then you're off and running at that point because you're qualified. Now, the residual element starts to kick in because it takes this whole concept from a great income to a fantastic income, and this is what I mean. I listened to an audio and a video course, very similar to what we had back there a number of years ago, and it took my income just over the top. Because I was at that time selling my websites and my tools one by one. I would sell them, and I'd have to get people to rebuy stuff and buy new stuff and get new customers, and it was tiring. And I looked at it as like, okay, I created myself a job, and it was just like trading time for money. Like if you have a job, you go to work, you work an hour, you get paid an hour, you work a week, get paid a week, and so on. But if you stop working, you stop getting paid. And that's a way to make money, but it's hard. It's hard because you're not really breaking that time for money scenario. So I learned basically how to change that with residual income, where I started to change all my websites to really be residual based, where they would come in and they'd pay me $5 a month, $15 a month, $20 a month, $30, $55, $100 a month. Yeah, some of my websites are $100 a month, and as long as you give them great product, people are willing to do that. But what happened is that the first month would roll over to the second month, and I'd get new people, and the second month would roll over to the third month, and the first and second would follow that, and the fourth month, I would have the first and second and third month roll to the fourth month, and if you do that month after month after month after month, it is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but after years of doing that, I have thousands of people paying me every month. Now, that's the concept and the leverage that I wanted to give you here in Infinity Downline, where, yeah, it's $25, but it's a monthly $25. And if you just said, I hate $25 monthly programs, well, you missed what I just said before. $25 if you're breaking even on the first person Does it really matter? Right? Because you're breaking even. So, but now if you bring in people and the first month rolls to the second month, rolls to the third month, rolls to the fourth month, and you start building and building and building, you could build with just a core of a few people and have it mushroom over a period of time that can be incredible. Just taking 4 people and doubling that every single week or every single month, whatever your time frame is, you're talking after 10 or 11, 12 times of doing that, you're talking about a 5-figure monthly income on a whopping $25 program. Now, look at the compensation plan section of the website, and we have Excel spreadsheets that go through that. It is monstrous the amount of money you can make. Now, am I saying everybody's going to do that? Obviously not. It's up to you. You're the X factor. But we have plenty of people that are approaching making that kind of money. We have people that have brought in hundreds and hundreds of people, and people that have 600, 700, 800 people that are being paid on a monthly basis. It is incredible how this is working and really doing it without really jeopardizing anybody. I call it the national stimulus package. You don't have to wait for the government to bail you out. Now you can do it yourself and really do it with little risk, if none. So let me turn it back over to George, and he's going to close out the call. It's been my pleasure to give you information about our fantastic program, Infinity Downline. Thanks a lot, everybody. Back to you, George.
Thank you very much, Peter, and thank you very much for the extensive overview. Folks, you have enough information right now to make an intelligent decision. You can get in the game by simply going to the website of the person that has referred you to this call. And as Peter has described, you can simply fill out a form there. You're in business. You're a member of Infinity Downline in as little as 5 minutes, ready to receive your first 100% commission payment to you. And as Peter explained, that's break even. That's unheard of in the industry of home-based businesses, where you can actually break even on one person. And better than that is the residual factor, the exponential growth from the simple plan of a reverse 2-up and passing up your second and third, passing up only 2 people, everybody in your organization doing the same. You are truly in the right spot at the right time to make an intelligent decision and to go forward not only blessing yourself, but blessing anybody that you share Infinity Downline with. So we look forward to you coming back to this call as a member, and we thank you, members, for coming to the call. And you are the ones that are making Infinity Downline a success as we hit 90,000 people today. Good night, everybody, and we'll see you on the next call. Bye for now.